Good morning, everyone. Are you hearing me from your end?
Yes.
All right. Today, the lectures is not going to be 2 hours. I'm not feeling very well. Maybe we will do 1 hour. We will do one example on the simultaneous equation, the real life application. Then from there, if we have time, then we looked at functions. That will be a chapter 2. I have shared the materials with you on our WhatsApp group. So that's what we are going to cover for today's lectures. And I'm not going to waste time. I will start the lectures. You can write your name and your student number at the chat box for attendance purpose. We have only 2 people online so far, but still I will go ahead and start the class. You don't have much time. These online lectures, it takes a lot of time and you don't cover much. So the little time we have, we cannot waste it. So we will take from chapter 1, we looked at solving equation. This will be the last example. So this example, it has to do with application of simultaneous equation. So we will look at 2 markets. And we will look at beef market. This is an example. This is very important. Let's take notes. And the video also will be available. So let's say this is a beef market. And we have pork market here. So maybe this example will even take the whole lectures. It's a very long example. We have a pork market. So we are going to use equations. We have pork market. So in this beef market, we have equations represented by this. Let's say the quantity demanded for beef is represented as this. Quantity demanded, this is Q is quantity, D is the demand for beef, and B is what? Beef. That is quantity demanded. This value represent the quantity demanded for beef is equals to what? 82 minus 3 times the price of beef. But the quantity demanded of beef is not only affected by the price of beef, but also by the price of pork. So plus the price of pork. So we also have here the quantity that is supplied. Quantity supplied of beef is represented by this equation, minus 5 plus 15 times the price of beef. So this is the beef market. So this is the quantity. This is the this P. This is the price of pork. We should know that the PP with subscript P. So PB is the price of beef. So if you looked at this, the quantity demanded, this quantity demanded of beef, it depends on the price of beef and also the price of pork. Quantity supplied of beef, it only depends on the price of beef. So let's go to this market, the pork market also. Here the quantity demanded for pork is equals to 92 plus 2 times the price of beef, then minus 4 times the price of pork. And the quantity that is supplied for pork in the pork market is represented as this minus 6 plus 332 times the price of this. So we have this problem. They give us two market. This is beef market. This is a pork market. So here, what the question will normally ask you is this. So we have this with two different markets. So what the question, this is the question. To calculate, find the equilibrium prices of pork and beef. That is question 1. And question 2, find the, let's say that this is equilibrium quantity of pork and beef. So maybe let's try to visualize it and graph or let's even graph the equilibrium. So this question might take the whole lectures. Graph the equilibrium in each market. So these are the 3 questions that we will solve from this question. So when they say the equilibrium price, what they are actually supposed to find here, the price of pork, is that we want to know what is the price at equilibrium, what is the price of pork, that is this, and the price of beef. So here with the quantities also, equilibrium quantity, we want to know what is the equilibrium quantity of beef as well as the equilibrium quantity of pork. So then with our graph, we can do demand and supply graph. So let's go on and do this. So we are going to solve this stage by stage. The first, if you want to solve this question, first you focus on this market first. That is the beef market. If you finish, you determine the partial, you have to determine the partial equilibrium. You find the partial equilibrium. Here also you find that is stage 2 or step 2. You find the partial equilibrium in the pork market as well. So the step 3 will be what? You bring this partial equilibrium from each of the market and solve the general equilibrium. So this is how we are going to solve this. Let's go to the next slide and let's look at the beef market in isolation. So let's focus on the beef market first. So the first step, you understand, we have to determine the partial equilibrium in the beef market. And in equilibrium, we all know that what happened, quantity demanded for beef should be equal to the quantity that is supplied for the beef. Since we know our quantity demanded and quantity supplied, we can just equate them. So our quantity demanded for beef is nothing but 82 minus 3 times the price of beef plus the price of pork. That is, this is the quantity demanded for beef equals to the quantity supplied for beef, which equals to minus 5 plus 15 times the price of beef. So all what you do here, I'm not going to, I'm jumping, we don't have much time today. You collect the like terms on one side. And once you do that, we can even do it here, it will be 82. We have here 82. So this goes here, it will be plus 5 equals to 15. This stays, so this will come here, plus 3 times the price of beef minus the price of pork. So this and this, they are like term. This is 3, please. This 3. So this is PB. PB, they are like terms. So we will have 87 equals to 15 plus 3, that is 18. PB minus the price of pork. So we can restate this equivalently as 18 times the price of pork, beef rather, minus the price of pork equals to 87. So this equation we have right now, this equation, we have right now, we call it equation, let's call it equation 1. And it's nothing but what? Is the partial equilibrium. Partial equilibrium in what? In beef market. So sometimes the question can ask you, what? Calculate the partial equilibrium in the beef market. So this is the equation that we have. We will need this equation. So now that we have looked at the equilibrium, this is equilibrium in the beef market. Now we have to also look at the partial equilibrium in the pork market. So let's look at the pork market to calculate the partial equilibrium. So first, we have to know that in equilibrium, something happened. That is the quantity demanded for pork should be equal to the quantity supplied pork, the quantity of pork supplied. So we know that the quantity demanded there is what? 92 plus 2 times the price of beef minus 4 times the price of pork equals to, so now we bring our quantity supplied of pork, which equals to minus 6 plus 332 times the price of pork. So we collect the like terms. We take all the variables on one side. There's a variable here, there's a variable here, there's a variable here. So what we can do, it's simple. We can have this, all the variable goes to the one side, 92 can stay here, this will come here, it's minus, then it will be plus 6, equals to, we have 32 times the price of pork. This variable is coming here, we have this also, this will be plus 4 times the price of pork. This is plus, then it will change to minus, minus the price of beef. So this plus this should give you 98 equals to, if you check this, this is the price of pork, they are like terms, we can add them, then we'll have 36 times the price of pork minus 2 times the price of beef. So we have seen, we can restate this as what? As 36 times the price of pork minus 2 times the price of beef equals to 98. So this is our equilibrium equation in the pork market. We can call it equation 2, which is nothing but partial equilibrium. In the pork market. So remember, the question is asking us to find this, and also the quantities, then we craft. So first thing what we did was we looked at here the partial equilibrium in beef market. Then we have this equation which we will need. From there we looked at the partial equilibrium in the pork market. We have this equation. So this equation 1 and equation 2, this is what we need to solve our questions. So we go further. So the third step is like we bring all the partial equilibrium together. So what we are now doing, what is general, we are looking at what? General equilibrium. That is, we bring all the partial equilibrium into one and we analyze. So this will be the general equilibrium. That is the third step. So how do we do that? We bring the partial equilibrium from the beef market, which is 18. We have 18 times the price of beef minus the price of pork equals to 87. So the second, this is the equation 1, and it is the partial equilibrium in the beef market. So equation 2, which is the partial equilibrium in the pork market, we have 36 times the price of pork minus 2 times the price of beef equals to 98, which is the second equation, or we call it the partial equilibrium in the pork market. So if you can recall what we have done so far, the types of equation, you realize that this is nothing but a simultaneous equation. So we can even equivalently, we can state it like this. So we have 18, so that we have 18 times the price of beef minus the price of pork equals to 87. It's the same way. So here, what I'm trying to do, I want to make sure that the variables or the like terms are arranged accordingly. So this, I will bring it first here. So it will be minus 2 times the price of beef. Then we bring this, which is plus 36 times the price of pork equals to 98. Just want to make sure that the same variables are arranged vertically. So we have this. So whether it is or this, they are all the same. If you check this very well, it's not different from the simultaneous equation we have solved before. Linear system of simultaneous equation, whereby we have ax, if you could remember, plus by equals to c. Then we have the second equation, which says ex, this should be d, not e, dx plus ey f. It's the same thing. So we have this, and we said that whereby here, the a here is nothing but the 18, this is the a, the 18 here is the a, and the b here is, there is an in 1 here, you can put it there. So this is the b 1 minus 1, and the c is nothing but this 87. And then we also have this minus 2 is nothing but what? D is minus 2. So this is D, which is minus 2. And E is what? E is 36. And 98 is nothing but F. So we have all this. So we have talked about it, you understand. So here we said that if you want to solve this equation, that is solving this equation, it means finding the value of x and y. So we have stated that x equals to the formula is what? To solve it is C times E minus BF all over AE minus BD. We have done this. And Y, we say that is equals to what? AF minus CD all over AE minus BD. So of course, we don't have X and Y here in this problem, but X here is nothing but the price of beef. So Y here is nothing but the price of pork. So these are the formulas that we will use to find the equilibrium price of beef and pork. So this is the formula that we will use to answer our question 1 and even 2. So if that is the case, we can even restate it again that P, to find the price of beef, this is the formula we will use. All what we need to know is what is CEBF. So we can even restate it here. A is nothing. This A is nothing but 18. That is this 18. So our B is nothing but this minus 1. Our C is what? The constant, which is 87. So we need to know C. Our D is what? Is minus 2. Our E is 36. And our F is 98. So we can use this and substitute this to have our answer. Someone can also go on and use a step-by-step elimination method. At the end of the day, we should have the same answer. So let's go on and substitute these values into here. And here, then we will have our answers.
Mr. Ture.
Yes.
We can use the elimination method in exams, right?
Any method you use is okay, unless I restrict you.
Okay.
So you can go, there are thousands of methods. Some of the methods have not even been discussed in books. So, but it's important the methods we have discussed, you know them, because you could be restricted to use one of those methods.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are a lot of methods. Some of them is not even in some textbooks. There are a lot of ways to solve this. But the key point, the bottom line is that you must arrive at the same answer. All right, so let's go on and substitute this and see. So let's start with this to find this, the price of beef. And we said that the price of beef, let's calculate that.